Manmeet Singh sir is a director of GSIMR, Govindram Saxaria Institute of Management Research, and let us hear about his vast experience from his own words. Sir, please introduce yourself
Huh.
for the sake of our audience.
Thank you, Vikas. I born and brought up in New Delhi, and I completed my BCom honors from Delhi University, and then I completed my CA also from Delhi itself. I worked in V Shankar Iyer and Company as a chartered accountant for 4 5 years, and later on, I came to Indore due to certain family reasons, and I started my career in Indore by joining Pioneer Institute of Professional Studies. And later on, during my uh, joining in Pioneer Institute, I completed my MBA also in finance area from IMS Indore, and later on I completed my PhD in management also from here. And over a period of time, this journey I joined Medicaps University for around almost 10 years, and I worked in CH Institute of Management Commerce also as a associate professor. And in Medicaps University, I worked as a professor and director. And recently, I am working in Govindram Saxaria Institute of Management Research as a professor and director. So this is my whole journey, and I have a vast experience of almost 23 years in education and 6 7 years in my area of profession. So we can say around 30 years of corporate and uh, education experience I'm carrying. So this is my
Sure,
brief
sir.
introduction.
Got it. Very nice to hear. So we have, I understand that you have a lot of experience even when it comes to corporate and education. So how you have managed many institutes also during this period. So what is that main motivation that keeps you stuck to the education industry as a whole?
Uh, I remember those days when I joined V Shankar Iyer and Company in the chartered accountant firm. Basically, all trainees and articles they used to come to on Saturday to our institute, to we can say our office, and we used to basically upgrade themselves in the area of audit and taxation. What is the recent development which has taken place in taxation area? So I found that I have a passion for teaching because I used to take the lectures on Saturdays, because our articles and other experts they used to basically go to the companies from Monday to Friday, and they used to come on the Saturdays. So I used to take the lectures on the taxation area during those days, and I found that I have a passion for teaching. So that was the beginning of my journey of education, we can say. And later on, when I found a positive response from my students, and I found that education is the best, we can say, the area where I can do something for the society. And later on, I joined. Then when I came to Indore, I joined Pioneer Institute, and students liked my way of teaching them because I used to teach them in a very easiest way. So because of this experience, it was a very easy to for me to teach taxation and finance area. And that was the, we can say, the that till today people uh, basically, we can say, the learnings are going on, and every day I learn something new about the uh, finance area. So that helped me to stay in the teaching and in the education sector.
Sure. Great to hear about your teaching experience as a whole. And can you throw a little light on what is your leadership style? Because now that you're a director of an institute like JSIMR, what is your leadership philosophy?
Basically, I always feel that as a head of the institution or as a head of anything, I always try to initiate or start the new things at my own, to encourage my team members. Team members includes all my faculty colleagues, besides faculty colleagues, other staff, non-teaching staff also. So I always initiate the things. I believe in participate leadership. Okay, and that basically I welcome all innovative ideas from my team members, and I always give them the complete free hand to experiment new things. And I intervene only when it is required. Otherwise, I found that now these days all our faculty colleagues are capable of doing everything. So this is the my leadership style, that participative leadership is required every day, because unless we get the ideas from our colleagues, we cannot do anything great unless we invite them. Okay.
Agreed, sir. Sir, can you tell me about the management scenario, management education scenario in Indore as a whole, and how is your college trying to stay relevant in that particular scenario?
In Indore and particularly in Madhya Pradesh, there are in Indore almost I think 54 institutes are there which are running the management programs, and there is a lot of tough competition is there because uh, all are very old institutions are there, and so far as GSMR is concerned, we provide them basically we can say the something different at a very affordable cost in our institute because it is a socially oriented trust, and in our institute we basically provide all the facilities, all the modern facilities we can say, like uh, all we can say the latest technology, like we are running the classes today itself also on
Mhm.
Zoom, and all e-books are also available to the students. We provide them in PDF format so they can at home, they can at their ease, they can study the books. So a lot of facilities are available at a very affordable cost because Govindranath Saxaria Trust has a flair for education. I think almost 20 to 22 educational institutions are there all over the India. And besides educational institutions, school and colleges, they are running a lot of we can say the hospitals also free of cost. So at very affordable cost, we are able to basically help the needy students also who cannot pay. Even sometimes we remit their fees also. So this is our approach.
Sure, sir. So can you share us your vision about your whole institute?
Uh, Recently, basically, we are thinking in the terms of accreditation of our institute because now these days it is a compulsory requirement, and in the coming years, my planning is to, besides the MBA degree which is being provided to the students, I am thinking that we should basically help them to get certain certifications because now these days we are thinking that a certain skill set a student should have before going to the industry because we are in great touch with the industry. What is the basic requirement of the industry? And according to the requirements of industry, we are preparing our students for a certain skill set. It may be in the area of finance, marketing, HR. So we are providing something add-ons to the students, and that is also free of cost. No charges are being taken from the students. We take extra classes for their personality development. Besides personality development, there are certain finance certifications are also there, certain digital marketing, and in HR analytics, business analytics, such type of certifications we are providing at our own institutes. Beside that, we have tied up with one of the agencies, which is earlier called as the Island FS. Now it is called as a LearnNet Skills Corporation Limited. We have tied up with them for GST, Goods and Services Tax, and CRM, Customer Relationship Management, and one or two more certifications are there in the pipeline that we are going to provide to the students free of cost. So this is our approach in the coming years.
Sure. So yeah, I have even personally researched your site and saw that it's not just the students who are getting the latest courses. Even the professors have trying to be learning about a lot of certifications and latest courses like digital marketing, case studies,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
general management, etc. And that's actually very motivating, sir.
yeah. So these days, our faculty members have also working on the certification. They have during this lockdown, they have basically completed lot of certification. Even myself also, I have completed certain advanced Excel certifications during this lockdown, and one or two more certifications I also have taken. So we are because education is a continuous process, learning is a continuous process. Even in the finance area, I am also studying certain certification. Lot of websites are there which are providing at a very nominal cost. Lot of certifications are there in finance area and stock market. I doing certain certification. Similarly, our faculty members are also doing certification. So because these are the basically requirement of today, because unless we take the initiative, how the students will initiate? Okay, so we are
Right.
basically giving them an opportunity that see your faculty members are learning same in the same platforms. So this way, I think now students have recently today and yesterday also two students have sent me the their screenshots of their certifications certification in the finance area. So this way, I think students are going in the right direction.
Sure. In an institute where students can approach the director directly and send their screenshots, I think it's a very open kind of learning. Yeah.
Yeah. Just this is correct uh, because we are having only one program, that is an MBA program, and uh, our institute was established in the year 1997. So 23 years have taken place, and we have a great alumni base. In this alumni base, a lot of our alumni are basically helping us for the job placements, and we take a lot of webinars because these days it was a lockdown, and we took the help of our alumni also, and they have given a very good lectures in the area of marketing, finance, HR, and they have shared their experience. What is the present requirement of the industry? So our alumni are basically placed in the very big short companies, and they are helping us in the placements also. And no doubt that. And one important thing about our institute that our all students are placed in a very good companies. And recently, one of the students was being placed at I think last week he was placed at a package of 10 lakh rupees, and it is a great remark. Again, almost 4.75 5 lakh is the average package which our students got, and our total fee structure is very nominal, because from the last 5 years we have not charged extra money from the students. The same fees which was 4 or 5 years back, the same fees we are carrying till now, and this is because of our Govindaram Siksaria trust, that they believe that we should provide something to the society, we should help to the society. Okay.
Sure, sir. So, based on your experience, how do you think the education is changing over the next 10 years? And what do you think the university's top priority should be?
Basically, again, in the coming years, there will be a lot of changes are going to happen. Like, I feel that in the coming years, students have to equip themselves with certain skill sets. They have to be in advance, they have to decide. Like, for example, earlier, whatever we used to study in the post graduation, now they are being taught in the undergraduation. And whatever which was being taught in the undergraduation, now it is being taught in the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And whatever which was being taught in the 10th, 11th, and 12th, that is being taught in the 6th, 7th classes. Now, same thing is happening. Whatever which we learn in the 6th, 7th, now it is being taught in the first class or second class. So, in the coming years, students have to take the initiative, and they have to predetermine what is their path, where they want to work, where they want to go. So, in the coming years, because I've seen from the young generations, they are very well planned in terms of what is going to happen in the near future, and what skill set they should acquire so that they can be in a better position to get the higher packages. So in the coming years, what I feel that people and even our country, like new education policies expected to implemented, where a major focus has been on the skill set. So in the coming years, that I feel that, like, CBCS system, credit-based system will be implemented in the country. Like, you must be knowing that in the new education policy, they have clearly mentioned that along with a particular engineering student, he can opt for music also. Okay, so this is already happening in the abroad, and same thing is happening in one or two, three renowned, we can say, the universities in India also. So that I feel that over a period of time, people will think about the skill set. They will acquire the skill set in advance so that they can make their CV according to the requirements of the industry. So this is, I personally feel that this is going to happen in the near future.
Sure, sir. So the students not just need their academic marks, but a lot of skills which GSIMR Institute is trying to provide. So can you tell me what kind of exposure do students receive that sets apart from other institutes, that sets GSIMR apart from other institutes?
Basically, we always try to the students that there should be a 360-degree, we can say, the development of the students. So if somebody visit our college, we have basically placed all the photographs which are basically, they are being sent to the different programs in all over India. Like in the last we can say the year, we have sent to the students many places to compete with the other institutions in various seminars. Like we encourage them to write the research papers, and they visit to the different institutes for attending the seminars, and they present their research papers also. Besides, we encourage them to participate in a lot of competition. Like I, because being a finance person, I encourage certain students to go for the budget competitions. So a lot of other institutes, they basically engage a lot of activities. Even in our institutes, we engage a lot of activities, and students participate in those activities. And beside this, we do a lot of exercises also, mock interviews also, GDPs also. And one important part of our institution is that we do one activity which is called as a L Chopal, learning Chopal, where we give them a topic to speak in front of all the teachers and students. So after when the speech of the concerned student finishes, so concerned either the teacher or the students, they also participate and join in the knowledge sharing. So a lot of activities are being done in the institutions. Like in curriculum, we focus on the case studies also. Like a lot of case studies are now available on Harvard universities, because we subscribe a lot of journals also, and we discuss various articles from journals also, what is happening in the current scenario. Like we always emphasize that students should read at least one financial newspaper. So we subscribe a financial newspaper like Business Standard, Economic Times for all the students in our institutes, and we discuss a lot of current topics on the finance area. Similarly, if something is relating to the marketing, we discuss on that also. And something new is happening in the HR area, we discuss that also. So a lot of things are there which are available in our institutes as comparison to others. So we focus on overall development of the students.
Sure. So, what are the biggest challenges that you can foresee in terms of education, be it higher education or be it undergraduate education, also as a whole?
In undergraduate, basically, what I feel that in MBA, so far as because we are running only one
Right.
program, MBA, and which I have felt because we are doing counseling to the student now. These days, this is an admission time, and students are coming to us. And later on, also, we have found that students are basically some students, not all the students, some students are not basically carrying the requisite, we can say, the skills before joining the MBA. Because in MBA, we are having a period of only 2 years. And in 2 years, we cannot provide them all the skills which are required for the further, we can say, the upgradation. So what I feel that before joining the MBA, students should have certain prerequisites or certain pre-skills, so that in a post-graduation, they can do the wonders. We cannot upgrade all the skills in 2 years of this 2 years of, we can say, the MBA. So this is the biggest challenge which I am facing, that now students have to plan their skills at the right time. Now the time has gone where you used to take the decisions later on. Now the students have to pre-plan their life. Now parents should also focus. In fact, certain student parents, they come to our institute also, and they discuss about the life plan of the students. Today also, I got a phone call from one of the parents. They were concerned about their child. So they basically, if all parents will think about in this way, the way I got a call today, I think in the future there will be a great, can say, the students will come out from this management education. But unless parents and the students, they will sit together and they will think what they want in the future. Because sometimes we join the MBA, but we don't want to do MBA. So we have to first think that what is the right approach and what skills we should get. So in the coming years, there will be a lot of competition will be there, because you know that in today's scenario, a lot of unemployment is there. So,
Right.
but because we were in the great touch with the industry, and they had said that there is no problem to pay even 12 lakh to the students. They are ready to pay 12 lakhs. They are ready to pay 10 lakhs, provided they should get the right skills. So this is the problem which I am finding, that again, this is a problem of today. This was the problem a few years back also. So basically, now in the industry is ready to pay any amount of fees, any amount of salary, provided the right person should be there. Because
Sure.
if the person is having the right skills, so I don't find any problem. A few days back, I got a call from one of the finance company. They said, we are ready to provide 12 lakh rupees to the person, provided he should carry these things. So this is the problem which we are facing. So we are
So
working in that direction only.
right. So now that you have got all the exposure from the corporate requirements, the students as a whole, can you give any advice or career suggestions for the aspiring youth, especially in field of education?
Huh. Basically, I would like to say that students should be first they should plan their career properly, what they want to do in the near future, and the path which they want to follow in the life, that should be clear cut. They should be clear about that this is their path, and to work or to walk on that particular path, these are the hurdles, and they have to remove those hurdles. They have to acquire certain skills. They have to increase their knowledge by basically they have to do the hard work. So basically every day they have to learn new things, because now the scenario is changing every day. Because in the lockdown we have seen that lot of problems are coming. So we have to think that this skill set are required for this job. Okay, so to get that particular job they have to acquire those skill sets. Problem is not there in the companies are ready to provide anything. They are ready to provide all the big amount of salaries to the students, provided they should have the right skill set. So in the coming years I feel that our institute is working in that particular direction, so that student get the right skills and they can be better employed. So this is our basically vision for the coming years.
Sure, sir. Sir, just to summarize the points you have said, one thing is always be ready for the hard work. Second is be clear in your vision and keep on updating new skills in terms of particular vision or career path that you have chosen.
Correct, very correct, very correct.
That's a lot of information, sir. It was very insightful, actually. Do you want to add anything about GSIMR in particular?
Basically one thing which I have learned, that people do not know about the GS brand properly. And one book I would like to share with all the listeners or the audience, that Govindaram Seksaria ji, basically a great visionary, a great visionary. One book has been published recently about the Govindaram Seksaria ji. Govindaram Seksaria, The Untold Saga of an Empire Builder. Minhas Merchant, who is the author of this book. I would like to say something about Govindaram Seksaria ji. Govindaram Seksaria ji basically is the cotton king of world. He was the cotton king of the world. Okay, so Govindaram Seksaria ji has created lot of educational institutions, schools, colleges, and hospitals, and still they are running. Presently, Govindaram Seksaria ji, the grandson and great grandson, they are managing all these things, and they are providing the very best education in the country at a very affordable cost. Okay, so Govindaram Seksaria ji was a great visionary. People should know, and if they want to read this book, they can come to our institute and read this. And beside this, they can learn lot of things from this, because lot of management principles are being basically written here. One thing which I have learned, he was a great passioner about the stock market. So those who are from the area of finance, they must be knowing that one important term is the hedge funds, and he was the knowledge of hedge funds at around in the 1930s, when people did not know anything about the hedge funds. The things which are being followed today, that was being established by Mr. Govindaram Seksaria ji. So he was a great visionary, and his vision is being carried out by us and other educational institutions. And our besides our institutions, we are having one society, Shri Govindaram Seksaria Technological Society, which is running one famous engineering college, GSITS, Govindaram Seksaria Institute of Technology and Science, and that is running an engineering college, and we are running a management college, and which is called as a Govindaram Seksaria Institute of Management Research. It is located in Indore, in the heart of the city. People can visit our institutes. It is in the 6-acre lush green campus is there, and we are having experienced faculty in our institutes. And besides experienced faculties, we focus on research, because I am a person from finance. I know what is the importance of research. Okay, so our emphasis is always to encourage the students to go for the research and learn the new things. Learn the new things, because unless you know the new things, you cannot survive in the market. Okay, so we should be technology savvy. We should understand everything what is happening around us. So this is our philosophy. Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, Vikas.